Hi everyone. I was thinking about recording a Seder guide for those people who this year will be running a Seder for the first time. It's a strange situation we're in, and in many past years, of course, people have been with their family and friends and perhaps haven't run a Seder before. And this is an unusual opportunity for people to run a Seder for the first time. I decided not to, and I'll give the reason for that in a moment. I think there are three messages I want to pass on this year that you can use at your Seder. First of all, the first idea is Dayenu, the idea of the song that we sing in the middle of our Seders each year. Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. It's enough, it's enough, it's enough. It would have been enough had God only given us certain blessings when we left Egypt. It would have been enough. And each year we say to ourselves, was it enough? Will it be enough? And I think the answer this year is we have to say yes, it would be enough, despite the awful situation that we find ourselves in and the tragedies that are going on around the world. We still have to look into our own lives and say it is enough, and we have to sing Hallel and praise Hashem and say yes, it's tough and yes, it's awful, but we are also grateful for what we have. I think the second message I'd like to give is a reminder of the importance of trying to see ourselves as if we left Egypt ourselves. One of the jobs on Seder night is actually to present ourselves in that way, to run the Seder with that in mind, as if we were in Egypt. I have a friend in England who always used to tell me that his family used to jump over buckets of water during Seder night. And that would be because of the Jews walking through the Red Sea after they left Egypt, and to demonstrate that idea and to really feel as though they were leaving Egypt. We can put matzahs on our shoulders and really try and imagine that. We can't imagine the difficulties of being in captivity, but we should try. Perhaps again this year there is a lesson there. We're certainly not in captivity. We are in our homes. We are under certain restrictions, but we're not in captivity. But with this year we should think, what was it like for the Jews in Egypt? Equally, I don't know if you've seen the wonderful interview with Natan Sharansky the other day, and also something that he recorded. He was, of course, a prisoner of Zion in Russia, and he really understood what it means to be in confinement, in solitary confinement. But he did give some wonderful tips on how to stay sane and how to stay alive mentally, physically and emotionally at this time. And I loved his idea of laughter and humour, which is of course really important. So maybe in your Seder, add in some jokes and make it as fun and light-hearted as possible. And finally, an inspiration really for my Year 7 JLL class the other day, when the kids asked me on our Zoom chat, on our Zoom lesson, what the meaning of the four sons was. Really, it's important to note that those four questions, those four sons, those four children, those four questions that were asked in the Torah, actually really only three, because the fourth one is the child that didn't know how to ask. But those are questions that are asked by God, and God says these are the things that you're going to be asked about when you have children of your own. What is this Pesach celebration all about? Those kinds of questions. And I think it's important to note that we should be spurring our children on at this time to ask questions. Seder night is about asking questions. So maybe we can plan that in advance and provoke some questions and plant some ideas around the room, decorate our tables a little bit differently, maybe cut up cards pre-written before Chag with questions on them, prompting the children to ask questions, get the kids involved, encourage them to sing all the beautiful songs that they've learnt at school this year and in previous years. There's still time this year before Yom Tov comes in to listen to songs online and to really encourage the kids to be a part of a Seder. So I take you back to where I started this, and I said I wasn't going to record a Seder guide. And the answer why I won't, and the reason why I won't do that is very simple. The best Seder guide that we have is the Haggadah itself. Go dig out your Haggadah from last year. It's in English, no doubt. It has guidelines all the way through it. Tells you what to do. It translates it into English. Take a look at it now before Yom Tov starts and be inspired to run a beautiful Seder in your home despite the difficulties this year, and enjoy it and make the most of the time with your families. I want to wish you a Chag Kasher V'Sameach, a beautiful Yom Tov, and please God, stay healthy and safe, and please God, we'll meet together very soon. Chag Sameach.